So Barry, it's a pleasure to be joined by you for the first time in this pre-season. How about we start with talking about some of the signings that have been made so far? Should we start at the back with Robbie Thompson? How did you become aware of him, and how did that deal transpire?
I think we're delighted with all the signings that we've made so far. Robbie being one of them. We obviously know he's got a great affiliation with the club, but we're signing him because he's a good goalkeeper. We've sort of known that he was coming to the end of his contract. We obviously knew he'd be interested in coming here, and through a good bit of negotiation, we've got him here at for good value. So we're delighted to get him on board. He's one that will do well for the club and one that really wants to do well for the club as well, given his father having played here before.
Yeah. And joining him up with the majority of the defence that's been retained is obviously a good starting point. Moving forward, we also got Grant Gillespie tied up, very experienced player and not particularly old either. What's he going to bring to the squad?
No, I mean Grant's been a very good signing for us in terms of the games he's played at a high level, and I think we've been really fortunate to get him here. But again, he's one of the players that wants to play games, wants to win things, and that's the reason he's came to the club. He's a good lad about the dressing room, and he's a winner. And we need those types of guys, in playing, and in a team that wants to, win things this season.
Further forward, I mean, in football, there's a lot of you work with who you've worked with in the past. Up front, we brought in Chris Duggan, somebody that you know from your time at East Fife. What's he going to bring to the squad? What's his main assets?
Well, he certainly poses a different threat from what we've had before. He's a big, strong lad. He's good in the air. He's quicker than what a lot of people think. He's got good pace. Once he gets his legs opened up, and he scores goals. Having worked with him before, he's a real handful, and I think he'll cause defenders a lot of problems. In training, he's certainly causing our defenders problems. And that's bodes well for the future. It's good that I've worked with him before, but if I hadn't worked with him before and had seen him in games, then I'd certainly be keen to sign him anyway, because I think he did well against us last season when he played against us for East Fife, and he'll certainly do well for us this season.
Yeah. And most recently this week we tied up Lewis Milne, midfielder, somebody who likes to get forward, get goals. I understand he had a wee period training with us at Christmas time. Is that right? Is that how you're aware of it?
I mean, Lewis came in and trained was just after January. He was just back from Australia, so we knew of him, we knew about him. We thought he needed to go and play games, and he certainly went and did that and showed. We've kept an eye on him, since he went to Forfar and then Montrose. Again, he's a good one to have. He's got different, different options. He can play different positions. He scores goals. He's creative. He takes, he can take free kicks. So there's a lot in his game that's to be, looked at, and think will be a good asset for us in the coming weeks and months. So we'd like to get him on board as well. But obviously retaining a lot of the players has been good as well, because we had a good basis last season. The best defensive record, or the second best defensive record in Scotland, and we've got a good basis to build on. We think that we're adding guys that are going to certainly add quality to the squad, looking forward.
Yeah. Reflecting on and talking about signings in a different sort of way, very obviously we missed out on Rory Loy, who went to Dumbarton, and that mixture of part-time with a job. Was it good for you to see that lure of full-time football worked for the rest of your signings?
I mean, probably all of them have had different options, but I think the fact that they're coming here and the chance to win something is certainly, foremost in most of their minds. Obviously there is an attraction about going part-time and earning good money there and having a job, but I'm delighted that the boys here have came full-time with a chance of winning something, and that means that everything's going to be positive coming from, because they're determined to do something this season.
Good. and looking at the pre-season routine so far, what's the main focus of the sessions been for you?
Oh, they've been absolutely battered. It's a case again, they need to be fit. I mean, we were fit last season, and if it gives us the extra edge this season, then we certainly want to be as fit as we can. And they've, had a lot of good sessions, a lot of tough sessions, and they certainly know, what I expect from them in terms of work rate and effort and their fitness levels. And we're still topping them up. That'll go on right through. Even though we've got games, they'll still be getting, runs and topping up their fitness. So yeah, the pre-season's been good. In fairness, the boys have come back in good levels of fitness, which we would expect anyway. But guys like Ian Davison have certainly found himself, having to push himself again.
He's getting old, isn't he?
Aye, well, yes. I don't think you'd be too happy with you saying that, but he is at coming near the end of his career, but he certainly was valuable to us last season. And this season he's come back with the attitude that, if it is going to be his last season, and who can say, that he's going to give it, every single bit of effort, just like the rest of the boys. And he's pushed himself to the limit this pre-season. And in fairness, he showed a few of the younger ones up, and it really shows the young ones that type of attitude has to be, there from the beginning, to make sure that we do things right.
Referring, just picking up on a wee point you made there, we've all heard the stories about in years gone by, players coming back and being a wee bit overweight. Is it safe to assume that's not the case anymore?
No, it doesn't happen. The boys do look after themselves, and it means that it's a lot easier for us as coaches to get into ball work straight away. But that doesn't mean there's no place for, getting them, still getting them fit. So for as much as they combine good fitness, we always want to top it up, and we always want to be better. And they certainly are. From day one, they've worked very hard, and that's us been in over 2 weeks now. So it's good to see them working hard, and they enjoy it. That's a good thing from my point of view. They're enjoying working hard. So if they're enjoying doing that, then their ability will shine through, because they'll be fit enough, and the concentration levels will be good enough to make sure they do that.
That's positive news to hear. Looking at the time since our last game, and when our next game is, we all know that there's a very short break now for players and coaches. Does it feel like you've had a break, or was it straight into the planning after the last Alloa game for you?
No, we've been straight into the planning. The planning goes on right through the season, but when it gets to the close season, you really try to put the plans into place so that you can hit the ground running. And we've been working hard away from here, even though the boys have been off. We've been working hard right the way through. Myself and Kevin, who I'm delighted, been given the opportunity to stay on as a coach and be with myself, and he's accepted that opportunity. So the two has worked well together, and that bodes well for the future as well.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about signings again. Obviously we know who we have signed. The big discussion amongst the supporters is, how many more are we going to sign? In your mind, how many more players do you think you need, and in what positions?
Well, we're going to run with a tight squad this year. Just that's the way the budget's set out. We'll run with 16 in our first team, which will be supplemented with the young ones that we felt are ready to push on, but the opportunity's up to them to push on. So ideally, we also need another goalkeeper in. We'd like another attacker and another midfielder. I think we're settled, and defensively I think we're strong in that area. But I think we do need another midfielder and another striker, and then one who maybe be able to fill both positions. So we're on the way. We've got guys in that we're looking at, and but they have to show it in games. So we have to look at them in games, make sure that they're the right kind, and they're going to work hard for that jersey, because it's important to us that when they put that Raith Rovers jersey on, they're fighting for that club. And hopefully they show that in the next couple of weeks.
And does that then mean that if you're looking at trialists over the next friendlies and whatever games, that you're going to use the entire transfer window, or do you prefer to get them in as early as possible?
No, I'd prefer to have all my work done before the first game of the season. But sometimes that's your choice. We're speaking to some good quality players, guys that play in the Championship, and we're trying to get things over the line, but it's not always as easy as that. Guys have always got different options. Some of them want to play at the highest level they can, but you know, other ones, the ones that we want to achieve something and want to win something, and that's the opportunity we can give them.
Okay. And looking at the games, at the actual games that are coming up, we kick off with a closed doors game against Partick. Is that right, before the Dunfermline game?
Yeah, we've got a game tomorrow, in which, you know, it gives us a chance to play, you know, as many trialists as we want, and you know, give the boys a workout and change as many players as we want at half time and stuff like that, which is ideal going into the first game. The majority only play 45 minutes, and then we go into the tough game against, you know, our local rivals, which, you know, the boys want to be, you know, winning that game, and I set out every game to win it, and you know, pre-season is no different. I think, as I said last year, we don't play friendlies. It's about getting ourselves up to speed and winning games and having that winning mentality.
And before that first league game down at Stranraer, we've also got the Betfred League Cup games. You know, wide and varied opposition. You know, the length of the country: Cove Rangers, Cowdenbeath, Hearts, and Inverness. You know, yet more, you know, stern tests for you and your players. It's
the typical the way fixtures fall for us. We're away to Inverness, we're away to Cove, we're away to Stranraer, 3 games in a row. Yeah. But that's life. You just go on with it. You know, you can sit and worry about it. You just do what's in front of you. You know, they are difficult tests. You know, and Cowdenbeath being a local rival, we want to put one up on top of us as well. So, but that's good. Getting into the league, we want to be up to speed and we want to be ready to hit the ground running. You know, unfortunately, we've got to play a few games away from home in the Betfred, but that's life. You know, and again, you know, we'll take that in the chin and, you know, go on with it. But hopefully, we'll be back for, you know, our second league game of the season. And at home will be at Starks.
Yeah, well, we're all looking forward to that, but thanks as usual for your time and good luck in the friendlies and the cup games coming up.
No problem, cheers now.
Cheers.